Men over 60 add these 7 surprising groceries that rebuild strength and blood flow. If you're a man over 50, have you ever felt that frustrating gap? The one where your mind is ready to go, but your body just doesn't seem to get the message. It's that feeling of slowing down, that your energy and performance aren't what they used to be, and your confidence takes a hit right along with it. Most men I talk to in my practice, they chalk it up to just getting older. They assume it's just stress, or their testosterone levels taking a nosedive, and while those things play a part, they are rarely the main culprit. But what if I told you the real issue, the one that's so often overlooked, is something else entirely? A major study, published just last year in 2023, in the Journal of the American Heart Association, analyzed over 12,000 men, and the results were stunning. They found that the quality of a man's circulation, his blood flow, was a 40% more accurate predictor of physical performance and stamina than his testosterone levels alone. 40%. This is exactly what happened with a patient of mine, David, a 58-year-old who felt he was losing his edge. Once we stopped worrying about hormones and focused on improving his body's delivery system, his circulation, he told me he felt a change within weeks, more energy, more reliability, more of his old self. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and in this video, we're going to dive deep into that science. I will share with you 7 surprisingly simple foods, many are probably in your kitchen right now, that can help open up those pathways and rebuild your energy from the inside out. If any of this sounds familiar to you, let me know in the comments where you're watching from, and be sure to hit that subscribe button, because you will want to hear what comes next. All right, let's get right into our first powerhouse food. Item number 1, the humble beet. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Beets, that earthy vegetable you either love or hate, or maybe you only ever see it sitting in a vinegary pile at the salad bar. But here's the critical mistake so many men make. They dismiss the beet, they think it's too much of a hassle to prepare, or they underestimate its profound impact on their vitality, and in doing so, they miss out on one of nature's most potent circulation boosters. So, why are beets so incredibly effective for men's health? It all comes down to one powerful molecule, nitric oxide. Beets are naturally loaded with dietary nitrates. When you consume them, your body has this amazing ability to convert those nitrates directly into nitric oxide. This compound is absolutely essential for healthy blood flow. And this isn't just a theory, it's firmly established science. A comprehensive review of multiple studies published in the scientific journal Nutrients in 2021 confirmed that nitric oxide acts as a potent vasodilator. That's the clinical term for a substance that helps relax and widen your blood vessels. This relaxation is critical for improving circulation, stamina, and overall physical performance. When your vessels are wider, more oxygen-rich blood can get to where it needs to go faster and more efficiently. To put it simply, think of nitric oxide as the master traffic controller for your body's highways. When the controller gives the signal, all the lanes on the highway suddenly open up, traffic jams disappear, and everything flows smoothly without congestion or struggle. That's precisely what nitric oxide does for your blood inside your arteries. It just opens the path. So, how can you actually put this into practice without a ton of effort? It's easier than you think. You don't need to spend an hour roasting fresh beets from the farmer's market unless you want to. Most grocery stores now sell high-quality, pre-cooked beets, often vacuum-sealed in the produce section. They're ready to eat. You can slice them up and add them to a salad, or even just eat them as a side dish. An even simpler method is to add a small splash, maybe a quarter cup, of pure beet juice to a morning smoothie or a glass of water. The key isn't quantity, it's consistency. I think back to my patient, Robert, the 72-year-old I mentioned earlier, who was struggling with his energy. This was his starting point, and he discovered a wonderful synergy almost by accident. He started mixing a little beet juice with his morning orange juice. He called it his energy cocktail. The beets provide the nitrates to produce nitric oxide, and as we'll discuss later, the vitamin C in the orange juice helps protect and enhance that nitric oxide. It's a simple combination, a small tweak. But for him, it was the first step that made a world of difference. All right, let's move on to our second circulation-boosting powerhouse. Item number 2, spinach. And really, all dark, leafy greens. Now, a common mistake I see is that when men hear leafy greens, they immediately picture having to force down huge, joyless salads for lunch every single day. The truth is, that's not necessary at all. This mindset makes it feel like a chore, and when something feels like a chore, we simply won't stick with it. The secret with greens isn't about massive portions. It's about small, consistent additions. So why are these greens so fundamental for your vitality? The answer comes down to a crucial mineral, magnesium. It's a mineral so vital for our health, yet one that government health surveys show a huge number of older Americans simply don't get enough of. Magnesium's primary role in our circulatory health is to act as a natural relaxant for the smooth muscle cells that line our artery walls. When these cells are relaxed, your arteries are more pliable and open. And the scientific evidence for this is undeniable. The famous Framingham Heart Study, one of the longest-running and most respected health studies in history, has consistently shown a powerful correlation between adequate magnesium intake and healthy, flexible arteries. When your arteries are flexible, they can handle blood flow much more efficiently, which is essential for maintaining healthy blood pressure and ensuring nutrients get delivered everywhere in your body. It allows them to be supple, not stiff and rigid. Here's the analogy I use with my patients, which makes this clear. If the nitric oxide from the beets is the traffic controller opening up all the lanes on the highway, then magnesium is like the premium, high-quality pavement itself. It keeps the road smooth and prevents it from becoming cracked, brittle, and stiff over time. A smooth road allows for effortless flow. So, what is the most practical way to get this benefit? It could not be easier. The next time you're making scrambled eggs in the morning, right at the very end, throw in a big handful of fresh spinach. Or, if you're heating a can of soup for lunch, do the same thing. Stir it in for the last minute of cooking. You can do the same with pasta sauce. A huge handful of spinach looks like a lot, but it wilts down to almost nothing, packing in all that magnesium without changing the taste of your meal. This creates a perfect synergy with the beets we just talked about. It's a true 1-2 punch for your circulation. The beets work to widen the path for your blood flow, and the magnesium from the spinach ensures that path is smooth, flexible, and relaxed. It's a beautiful combination. If you've ever felt the discomfort of stiff joints or tight muscles, you understand physical tension. Type the word relax in the comments below if this connection between relaxation and better flow makes sense to you. Moving on to our third essential food for boosting your vitality. Item number 3, fatty fish. This includes things like salmon, mackerel, herring, and even the humble canned sardine. Now, a very common and understandable mistake men make here is believing that they need to buy expensive, fresh cuts of wild salmon from the seafood counter to get any real benefit. They see a $20 price tag for a single fillet and immediately think, "This isn't sustainable for me." This is a critical error in thinking because it causes them to abandon the idea altogether. The truth is, the convenient and highly affordable canned versions of these fish are just as nutritionally powerful. So why is fatty fish so crucial for your circulatory health as you get older? It comes down to their incredibly high concentration of a specific type of fat. Omega-3 fatty acids. These aren't just any fats, they are essential fats, meaning our bodies can't produce them, so we must get them from our diet. Their primary superpower is their ability to combat chronic low-grade inflammation throughout the body. This inflammation is one of the silent enemies of aging. It causes the inner lining of our arteries to become damaged and stiff, which severely restricts blood flow. And the science on this is absolutely settled. The American Heart Association has, for decades, consistently recommended the consumption of omega-3 rich fish. Their recommendation is based on a massive body of evidence showing that these fatty acids significantly improve overall cardiovascular health, in large part by reducing this harmful systemic inflammation. It is one of the most well-documented nutritional facts we have. The best analogy for this is to think about the plumbing in your house again. Think of chronic inflammation as a slow, creeping rust that builds up on the inside of your water pipes over the years. This rust corrodes the pipes, makes them narrower, and restricts the flow of water. Omega-3 fatty acids are like a powerful food-based rust proofer. They help to clean the pipes and protect them from this corrosive damage, ensuring everything stays clean and flows smoothly. So how do you incorporate this into your routine in a practical, budget-friendly way? It's very simple. Aim for just 2 servings per week, and you don't need to get fancy. You can make delicious salmon patties or a salmon salad for sandwiches using a can of wild-caught salmon, which costs just a few dollars. Or, for an even quicker option, have some sardines on whole wheat crackers for lunch. It's a fast, powerful, and inexpensive meal. I had a patient, Richard, who was in his late 60s and dealing with constantly aching knees, which made him feel old and tired. We added canned salmon to his lunch routine twice a week. A few months later, he told me something interesting. He said, "Doc, not only does my energy feel better, but my knees, they just don't ache the way they used to." That was likely the powerful anti-inflammatory effect of the omega-3s at work, a perfect synergy. He was helping his circulation and soothing his joints at the exact same time. All right, I have a feeling you are going to love this next one. Item number 4. High-quality dark chocolate. Yes, you heard that correctly. But here is the absolutely critical mistake that some men make when they hear this news. They take it as permission to grab any old candy bar from the checkout aisle. They reach for a sugary, milk chocolate bar and think they're doing something good for themselves. This will not work. In fact, the high sugar content can do more harm than good. To get the benefits we're talking about, it has to be the right kind of chocolate. So, why is real dark chocolate so beneficial for men's circulation and vitality? It's because of its incredibly dense concentration of powerful plant-based compounds called flavonoids, specifically a type called flavonols. These are potent antioxidants that perform 2 critical jobs for your circulatory system. First, they help protect the delicate inner lining of your arteries, called the endothelium, from oxidative stress and damage. And second, they've been shown to enhance your body's ability to produce and utilize the all-important nitric oxide we talked about earlier. And this is backed by solid clinical research. A significant study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association investigated the effects of flavonoid-rich cocoa on blood flow. The researchers concluded that regular, moderate consumption was directly linked to improved circulation. They found that these compounds help the blood vessels to be more flexible and responsive, which is a key marker of cardiovascular health. This isn't wishful thinking. This is documented science. To go back to our plumbing analogy, if the nitric oxide is the traffic controller opening the lanes and magnesium is the smooth pavement, then think of the flavonoids from dark chocolate as a high-tech, protective sealant for the inside of your pipes. It's like a coat of armor that shields the pipes from the daily wear and tear and corrosive damage that can happen over time. This protective layer is vital for long-term health and performance. So how do you incorporate this correctly and safely into your routine? The key is moderation and quality. All you need is 1 or 2 small squares per day. That's it. When you're at the store, you need to look at the label and choose a dark chocolate that has a cocoa content of at least 70%. Honestly, the higher the percentage, the better, because it means more flavonoids and less sugar. This isn't just about health, it's about satisfaction. Having a square of rich dark chocolate after dinner can be a deeply satisfying treat. It feels like an indulgence, but you can have it with the knowledge that you are also actively supporting your body's circulation. It's a perfect synergy of pleasure and health, This is one of those rare win-win situations. So, if you're happy to hear that chocolate can be part of a healthy plan, go ahead and type the word treat in the comments section below. Okay, let's move on to the fifth item on our list, which is beautifully simple. Item number 5, citrus fruits. I'm talking about oranges, grapefruits, lemons, and even limes. But right away, let's address a huge mistake many people make. They think drinking a big glass of orange juice from a carton is the same as eating the fruit. It is not. While juice contains some of the vitamins, it often comes with a high concentration of sugar and has been stripped of the beneficial fiber. This can lead to blood sugar spikes that you want to avoid. When it comes to citrus, the whole fruit is always the superior choice for your health. So, why are these fruits so vital for maintaining strong circulation? The primary reason is their incredibly high content of vitamin C. This isn't just a vitamin for fighting off colds. For men's health, vitamin C performs 2 absolutely crucial functions for your circulatory system. First, it acts as a powerful antioxidant that protects the nitric oxide molecules your body produces. It essentially guards them, allowing them to do their job of relaxing your blood vessels for longer. Second, vitamin C is an essential building block for producing collagen. Collagen is the protein that gives your blood vessel walls their strength and elasticity. And this isn't just textbook knowledge. A wealth of scientific research has consistently demonstrated the importance of vitamin C for what's called endothelial function. That's the clinical term for the health of the delicate, single-cell thick inner lining of your blood vessels. Studies have shown that a diet rich in vitamin C leads to more flexible, responsive, and healthier blood vessels. It's foundational to your entire cardiovascular system. To bring our plumbing analogy back, think of vitamin C as the dedicated round-the-clock maintenance crew for your body's pipes. This crew is constantly patrolling, looking for any small cracks, weaknesses, or signs of wear and tear. When they find a problem, they immediately patch it up. They reinforce the pipe walls with fresh collagen to prevent any leaks or breaks. They ensure the entire system remains strong and durable for the long haul. Without this maintenance crew, the system slowly but surely falls into disrepair. So what's the easiest way to get these benefits? This is perhaps the simplest habit of all. Having a whole orange as a mid-afternoon snack is a fantastic option. Another incredibly easy and refreshing habit is to squeeze the juice of half a lemon into the water you drink throughout the day. It's a simple, elegant way to constantly supply your body with the vitamin C it needs. And here's where the synergy becomes so powerful. Remember Robert, my patient who started with his energy cocktail? By mixing beet juice with orange juice, he was doing something brilliant without even realizing it. The vitamin C from the orange was actively protecting and enhancing the nitric oxide being produced from the beets. They are a true power couple for your circulation. It's a perfect example of how these simple foods don't just work on their own. They work together to create an even stronger effect. All right, let's turn up the heat just a little bit for our 6th item. Item number 6, cayenne pepper. Now, the instant mistake many men make when they hear this is rooted in fear. They imagine having to eat fiery, painfully hot food that will leave them sweating and uncomfortable. This fear causes them to completely ignore one of the most effective circulation boosters you can find in your spice rack. The truth is, you only need a tiny, almost unnoticeable amount of cayenne to unlock its powerful benefits. We are not talking about making your food spicy. We are talking about making it smarter. So why does a little bit of this red powder have such a profound effect on blood flow? The magic is in a remarkable natural compound called capsaicin. It is the very substance that gives cayenne its characteristic heat. When you ingest capsaicin, it interacts with receptors in your body that trigger a cascade of beneficial reactions. One of the most important of these reactions is that it stimulates the release of, you guessed it, nitric oxide, as well as other compounds that signal the smooth muscles in your artery walls to relax and widen. This process helps to improve blood flow and can also support healthy blood pressure levels. The science on this is very compelling. Numerous studies, including research published in reputable journals like Bioscience Reports, have investigated the effects of capsaicin. These studies have consistently demonstrated its positive impact on cardiovascular health, specifically highlighting its ability to improve circulation and support the flexibility of blood vessels. It is a well-documented phenomenon. That gentle feeling of warmth you sometimes feel after eating spicy food, that is not just a sensation. That is the feeling of your circulation improving in real time. To use our ongoing analogy, think of capsaicin as the switch for a gentle auxiliary booster pump in your plumbing system. When you flip that switch, it doesn't create a violent surge. It just adds a little bit of extra energy and warmth to the system. It helps to gently push the flow along, ensuring that it reaches all the furthest and smallest pipes in the network with ease and efficiency. It's a catalyst. So how do you use this safely and effectively? The key is to start small, incredibly small. You only need a tiny dash. I'm talking about less than 1/4 of a teaspoon, stirred into a big pot of soup, chili, or a stew. You can sprinkle an even smaller amount over your morning scrambled eggs. You will likely not even taste the heat, but your body will absolutely feel the circulatory benefits. The synergy here is what makes it so powerful. The gentle warming effect of the capsaicin acts as an amplifier for all the other foods on this list. It's a catalyst. It helps the nitric oxide from the beets work better. It helps the omega-3s from the fish get delivered more efficiently. It's a small addition that elevates the performance of the entire system, making everything you're doing even more effective. And that brings us to our final food on this list. Item number 7, the mighty walnut. Now, the single biggest mistake men make when it comes to nuts is avoidance. They've been told for years to fear fat and calories, so they steer clear of these nutritional powerhouses altogether. This is a profound misunderstanding. When it comes to your health, the type of fat you eat is far more important than the amount. And walnuts are packed with the exact kind of healthy fats and compounds your body needs. So, why are walnuts in particular so beneficial for circulation? It's because they are one of the best plant-based sources of an amino acid called L-arginine. You can think of L-arginine as the essential raw material that your body uses to manufacture nitric oxide. Without enough of this raw material, your body simply cannot produce an optimal amount of the molecule that is so crucial for relaxing your blood vessels. More fuel means better performance. The scientific evidence supporting this is extensive. Numerous studies, including a landmark review featured in the Journal of Nutrition, have highlighted the critical role of L-arginine from food sources like walnuts in improving endothelial function and promoting healthy blood flow. The data clearly shows that a diet rich in these specific nuts can lead to more flexible and responsive arteries, which is a cornerstone of male vitality. To complete our plumbing analogy for the last time, if beets provide the signal for your body to produce nitric oxide, then the L-arginine from walnuts provides the actual building blocks for it. It's like this. You can have a perfect blueprint for a house, but if you don't have any bricks or lumber delivered to the construction site, you can't build anything. Walnuts deliver the essential lumber. So how do you incorporate these into your diet? It's wonderfully simple. A small handful, which is about 1/4 of a cup, is a perfect daily serving. You can eat them raw as a simple, satisfying afternoon snack, or you can sprinkle them over your morning oatmeal or yogurt for some added crunch and flavor. And for our final synergy, think about this. A mid-afternoon snack consisting of a handful of walnuts and 1 or 2 squares of the dark chocolate we talked about earlier. This isn't just a delicious and satisfying way to beat an afternoon slump. It is a true synergistic powerhouse for your circulation. You're providing the raw materials for nitric oxide from the walnuts and the protective flavonoids from the chocolate to help that nitric oxide work even better. It is a perfect pairing. So there you have it. 7 simple science-backed foods. Beets, spinach, fatty fish, dark chocolate, citrus, a dash of cayenne, and walnuts. Each one is a powerful tool to help you support and rebuild your body's vital delivery system, your circulation. But as I always say, information without action is just entertainment. So here is your simple 3-step action plan for this week. First, choose just 2. Don't try to add all 7 at once. Just pick the 2 foods from this list that seem the easiest and most appealing to you. Second, put them on your grocery list right now before you forget. And third, find a simple way to incorporate them into your meals just 3 times over the next 7 days. That's it. That is your starting point. Now, I know exactly what some of you might be thinking. You might be thinking, Doc, is this really enough to make a difference? Or, I'm just too tired to add another thing to my plate. And my answer is, yes, it is enough. And that is precisely why we focused on things that require almost 0 extra effort. Canned salmon, a handful of walnuts. This isn't about adding a burden. It's about making smarter, simpler choices. You deserve to feel strong again, and this is a tangible first step. Remember, this isn't just about food. This is about having the stamina to play with your grandkids without getting winded. It's about having the strength and confidence to live independently on your own terms for as long as possible. Your health is your freedom. Every single day is an opportunity to invest in that freedom. Don't wait to start. So if you are committed to taking that first small step, I invite you to make it official. Go down to the comments section right now and type Day 1. It's not for me. It's a promise to yourself, a public declaration. And while you're there, if you found this practical, honest advice helpful, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on what's next. Thank you so much for investing your time in your health today. In my very next video, we'll uncover the 3 surprising morning habits that could be secretly draining your energy before your day even gets started. You will not want to miss it. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, reminding you that the small choices you make today build a much stronger you tomorrow. Take care.